Richician!
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 124. Let's kick it off. So the first question is from Pokemaster Cube. Which mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh would you redesign? No removing it outright. Oh, but I wanted to remove synchros, exceeds, pendulums and links. That's wishful thinking. It's okay though. Although I still need to redo that what if video. You know, what if synchros, exceeds, pendulums and links never existed. I don't want to do a bunch of other Yu-Gi-Oh! What if videos, and maybe some Robot Wars ones. Anyway, I digress. I think without a doubt I'd redesign links. Yeah, they were a big mistake, and it's a summoning mechanic that no one asked for. Of course, I don't know how familiar you are with links and pendulums, because I know you quit before they came into the game. But yeah, they were just badly designed. They're just too easy to go into, and you know, as I said before, it was interesting how Konami made them to slow down the game, but they didn't slow down shit. We still have OTK and lockdown decks, and of course in 2018 there was a rise in FTKs, which was ridiculous. And now there's like loads of banned link monsters. I've actually lost count of how many links have been banned now, but I know there's more banned links than there are the other summoning mechanics. Although there's still no banned rituals. Yeah, a ritual monster has never ever been banned, which is annoying, as I would have loved it if Demise got banned back when Demise OTK was a thing, but even more than that, I wish Herald of Perfection and Herald of Ultimateness were banned, because they're toxic as fuck. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, links. I think we need to make... They should have been made so that not that easy to go into, and maybe made it so that Master Rule 4 was just never a thing. And there was like no restriction to where fusions, synchros and exceeds could go. But the restriction should still apply, of course, to pendulums and link monsters. It is kind of silly that they don't need specific requirements, you know, compared to synchros and exceeds monsters, as you know, with synchros it's like, oh, a tuner and one or more non-tuners need to match the level of a synchro. With exceeds it's just two monsters with the same level need to overlay on top of each other. Whereas with links it's like, screw it, just use any monster to go into them, you know, within reason, of course. And yeah, definitely make the link 2s less generic. I watched a video where this was kind of an issue, and links that were meant to be for specific archetypes were used in pretty much every single deck. Yeah, like Halka-Fibrax and Predaplant Verte Anaconda. They were just used and abused too much outside of their own archetypes, and look what happened. They're banned. So, like with Halka-Fibrax, maybe if it said 2 Crystron monsters, then it wouldn't have been used and abused so much. Same with Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Instead of 2 effect monsters, just make it 2 Predaplants. I mean, poor old Anaconda was just used and abused too much in everything to go into Red Eye's Dark Dragoon and Destiny Who Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. They were the actual problems, and Anaconda took the blame. Um, yeah, even to this day, I still think Dragoon should have been banned instead. Um, and even though I don't hate DPE, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, that card should have been banned as well. As yeah, these are fusions that nobody likes, and well, hardly anyone likes. Nor were they fusions that anyone asked for, really. Um, but um, but yeah, that's a different topic. So I mean, I guess if Verte Anaconda said 2 Predaplants, then it wouldn't have been used and abused so much. Um, so yeah, that's all I can think of, really. So to summarise, Master Rule 4 just never being a thing and making links less generic and not so easy to go into. That's really the only thing I can think of to just redesign them. Next bunch of questions are from Sparkman91, but he does have more Sonic trivia. Did you know that Sonic the Hedgehog's first appearance wasn't even in his own game? Sonic first appeared in the 1991 arcade racing game Radmobile as a decorative ornament hanging from a rear view mirror. No, I actually didn't know that. I didn't even know of this game's existence. But yeah, that is fascinating. And it's also quite funny that Sonic and his friends appeared as little toys in Shenmue, the first one, which is meant to be set in like 1986. Set 5 years before Sonic 1 came out, which makes me wonder, how old is Sonic really, and like when did he... Oh no, you literally answered the question right in front of me. So that racing game in 1991, before Sonic 1. So I guess in Shenmue it must be a continuity error of some sort, or maybe it's set in an alternate universe where Sonic came out in the 80s instead of the start of the 90s. Anyway, on with the questions. 1. What was your favourite storyline in Yu-Gi-Oh? We just had the Albaz story wrap up. Wait, really? And currently they started up a new Diabellstar story. You had the dual terminal storyline with the Worms, Ally of Justice, Gusto and whatnot. Start of the Link era, we had World Legacy. One of my favourites has to be all of the cards where Behemoth, the king of all animals, is getting beaten and bullied by many of the game's most iconic beasts. Poor guy. Most of which are way smaller than him. Lucky punch he's losing to Rescue Rabbit. In Super Rush Headlong, I've never even heard of that card. He's being attacked by the boar from Rush Recklessly. I need to have a look at this card real quick. Super Rush Headlong. Oh, okay. I've never seen this card before. What does it do? Target a face-up monster you control and declare an attribute. If that target battles an opponent's monster with that attribute, destroy it at the end of the damage step. I see. Meanwhile, it looks like that Warhog is battering Riser. I don't know, it's hard to say really. I mean, I did quite like the dual terminal storyline. Shame it kind of ended badly with Trishula basically causing an ice age. Yeah, that was wild. One I did quite like as well was the ongoing battle between Dark Ruler Hades and Dark King of the Abyss. Yeah, they seem to appear on quite a lot of cards, and it feels like that battle just never ends between them. Especially if Dark Ruler Hades gained a zombie counterpart. But then again, it does make me wonder though, will Dark King of the Abyss get a zombie counterpart? That's interesting. So I don't really know what favourite I have. Mind you, the one involving Warrior Digrapher is interesting though. But I don't know if I really have a favourite. But they're the ones I like the most. 2. What are your thoughts on doing sneak peeks / premiere events, and would you consider doing them even though you don't play current format? I personally find them a lot of fun as you build decks with what you have, which makes it so cards might never see play have their time to shine. Before I answer that, I'm going to correct you on one thing. I do still play current format, I'm just semi-retired from it. I'm just not willing to play it that much. Because I would like to get my own custom format into swing when I can, although I haven't prepared any of my decks for that one yet. Anyway, the question, I don't have any opinions on premiere events, because I've never played in one. I know they're meant to be the replacements for sneak peeks, but other than that, I'm just not very knowledgeable of how they work. So someone would have to explain what happens in one of those. As for sneak peeks, well, I've had mixed opinions on those. I mean, you do have a good point that you can build decks out of them and give cards a chance to shine. That is a fair point. But a lot of the time, I've not really cared for them. I mean, when I first heard of them, I just not been interested in them. Then in 2009 I decided to give one a go and play in the Ancient Prophecy one, which I actually did well in. And funny story about the Stardust Overdrive sneak peek, I can't remember if I mentioned it in a video, but I was originally meant to go to that one, but the problem is, I went to take a short nap, because I was up early needing to do something, but I overslept. And by the time I woke up, it was about 3 in the afternoon. I was like, oh shit, I've missed it. Which was annoying, because I really wanted to enter it and get loads of cool cards, including Majestic Star Dragon, because like I said, Stardust Overdrive was my favourite 5D set, because it had a really cool Stardust support, including Majestic Star Dragon. It gave us the rest of the Earthbound Immortals, and it gave, well, the special edition gave us reprints for Charge of the Light Brigade and Tempest Magician, which were much needed. trying to think what other cool cards were in there, but yeah. Oh yeah, the rest of the Fortune Lady support. Yeah, that was really awesome. Loved it. Um, and I believe I participated in 5 other sneak peeks after that. So let's see. The next one was, or was it 6? I know I did sort of take part in the Duelist Revolution one, but then dropped out straight away. Because, well, back then, this was before that rule was introduced, where if you entered a sneak peek, you had to play at least one match, but before 2019, didn't have to do that. You could just drop right away. I think I got some alright pulls. Can't remember. I think I entered the. Wait, did I enter Storm of Ragnarok? I think I did. I mean, I vaguely remember getting packs for it, but it's hard to say for sure. Generation Force was the next one I entered, followed by Order of Chaos, but I didn't have the best of luck in those ones, and they basically put me off doing them. Because in the Generation Force one, I didn't pull any hollows, which was so annoying. That was like £15 gone down the drain, and it was annoying because there were quite a lot of hollows that I wanted out of that set, which, by the way, is my favourite Zexal set, because it had the Masked Heroes, the Vision Heroes, or at least the first 2 of the Masked Heroes, Elemental Hero Nova Master, which was the main card I wanted, the numbers, Gagaga Magician, and I didn't get any of them. That was so annoying. Although I did buy a box like a few days later, and it was one of my best box openings ever. And I pulled almost everything I wanted. I mean, I got the Nova Master, both numbers, both Vision Heroes. I think I got both Masked Heroes. I'm not too sure. I didn't get Gagaga Magician though. And yeah, I wish I still had that box opening, but haven't got it, unfortunately. I mean, the Order of Chaos one was kind of better, but not really. I mean, I did pull 2 hollows, one of which was one that I wanted, which was number 96 Dark Mist, but then I lost all my games, and it just didn't really feel worth it, and that made me not want to play in them anymore. Until the Dark Illusion one, over 4 years later. Because yeah, even though I didn't want to do sneak peeks anymore, I wanted to make an exception for this one, because yeah, I needed the Dark Magician stuff, but rather annoyingly, well, although I pulled a couple of hollows, including one Ultra, which I don't remember what it was, I didn't pull any Dark Magician cards. Yeah. Not even any of the rares and commons. That was annoying. And then someone who had Dark Magical Circle then sold it to someone else, even though I called dibs. I was not happy with that person, although I did pick one up off someone else, and Giorgio actually sorted me out a Magician's Navigation. But again, the most of a case opening I did with Express Gaming just made up for a lot, and I managed to get everything else I wanted. although it was annoying that Circle was really hard to get. I mean, out of 9 boxes, only 2 circles were pulled. And he pulled one and I pulled the other one. And of course it was really awkward because we were both after Dark Magician cards, so it did make it hard for us both to get them. Luckily, I had prize packs to open from winning that tournament with Pendulum Dark Magician. Um, and I believe I won 13 packs. As I remember, Alex, Brute Boy, gave me a choice of Shining. What was that set called? Shining Victories? Yeah. 13 packs of Shining Victories, or wait for the Dark Illusion to be released and get 13 packs of those. So I waited to get 13 packs of those, and I pulled a third Dark Magical Circle from one of those packs, so I felt a lot better after that. So, and yeah, I still vowed to never play in Sneak Peeks again after that bad luck. But I did make one other exception, which was for Savage Strike. Yeah, another one that I did play in, and I did pull some cards that I wanted, including Neos Fusion, and I did play one round just because why not? But then I dropped after that round because I was more interested in having some Dark Magician games with Express Gaming, George, and Gamer Central at the time. But yeah, that was it really. But yeah, despite those 2 exceptions, I've just not been keen on Sneak Peeks. There's well, £15 is a lot, and and if I pulled either no hollows and didn't win any games, then it was a waste of money. Or same if I don't pull anything that I wanted. Alright, the hollow thing, it was kind of made redundant when Breakers of Shadow came out, and then it was changed so you were guaranteed a hollow, but it still doesn't make up for the fact that if I don't pull anything I want, or I lose all my games, then it's still a waste of money, which I wish I could have saved for something else. Yeah, that's what it felt like after both the Generation Force and Dark Illusion sneak peeks. 3. What lost arts would you like them being Konami, to make in the future? I really want a Baguska lost art where he's a sleepy drunk. I don't really know. There's nothing I can really think of. Yeah, there's just nothing that springs to mind, really. Of course, I did notice yesterday that there was a lost art for Macrocosmos, and I was like, ew, I don't want this. I know Matt and Alison Welch would love to have an alternate art for Macro, since he loves that deck that much. Of course, that being said, I do still have it, so Matt, if you would like it, I can bring that to you whenever me and Emma do eventually go over and visit you guys. As yeah, I certainly don't want it. But anyway, no, there's no lost arts that I can think of. I mean, it does make me wonder what there is that's left. Although, to be honest, I don't really care for lost arts. Just like I don't care for alternate arts for cards. It wouldn't let me edit this comment, so I will post the rest of my questions here. That is weird. I don't know why it didn't let you edit it. favourite card of each summoning type, your fusions, rituals, synchros, and so on. Well, even though this didn't come up in a Q&A, I kinda already answered that in some top 10 videos that I did a while ago. But then again, that's just it. It was a while ago, and I did these on the Team Sorcerers channel during the summer, because, yeah, it was one of the things I did to relieve boredom, because, yeah, lockdown was a boring time, of course. Anyway, so yeah, my favourite fusion, as I mentioned before, is Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. What the hell was that noise? Felt like a bag sinking. I'm hearing things, my room's haunted. Anyway, so yeah, favourite fusion is Shining Flare Wingman. My favourite ritual monster is Blackluster Soldier Super Soldier. My favourite synchro is Stardust Dragon. My favourite Xyz monster is number S39 Utopia the Lightning, although it is also a love-hate card. I mean, it's great when I'm using it, but so annoying when it's used against me. And of course my favourite Link monster, despite what I said about Links earlier, is Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. And if we're including pendulums, then that honour would go to Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon. So yeah, for more information about why these are favourites, go check out those top 10 videos on Team Sorcerers. Next question. What field spell do you think looks the most pleasant to visit or live, and which one looks like the least pleasant? For me, Mount Sylvania looks like it would be a lovely holiday destination. Prankid's Place would probably be the worst places to visit, with all the Looney Tunes nonsense happening there 24/7. I love that. I'm surprised you'd say that about Prankid's Place, considering you love that deck so much. It's a tough one though. I do agree with you about Mount Sylvania. It does look very nice. Though that would be one choice. So would Sojourn. The field spell that boosts warriors and beast warriors by 200. What was the other one I was thinking of that would look nice? I think it was just them, really. Yeah. As for the worst, well, it's kind of a toss-up between Molten Destruction and Zombie World. I say Molten Destruction because it's literally just a volcano, and yeah, we all know how dangerous volcanoes are. You don't want to be anywhere near them. And as for Zombie World, I don't know. It's hard to say whether or not it's less hazardous than Zombie World, because you're seeing all these dead bodies lying around the place, and this lake, which I don't know if is purely made of blood or is just bloody water. If anything, it's probably the less hygienic place. Not to mention there'd be zombies roaming around the place. And yeah, we all know what happens if they get you. So, yeah, I feel like it would be a tie between Molten Destruction and Zombie World, because I really don't know which of them is worse, to be honest. Maybe that's a choice you guys can make. And the last questions are actually from Matt and Alison Welch, which is unusual because they're usually first. Um, 1. Deck building challenge. The ancient treasure deck that Yanagi, or however you spell his name, uses in 5Ds at the facility. Do you accept? Yeah, I can accept the challenge, although it won't be that stupid FTK version that I saw in a replay video, where it was mixed with adamanticators and stuff. Yeah, we don't take kindly to FTK decks round here. Yeah, because I saw it and was trying to think, can't really have that sort of deck in my custom format, so I need to think how I can nerf that deck and make it so it can't FTK. But I know Totem Pole seems to be the problem card. I mean, I'll try and make a pure version of this deck anyway, see what I can do. Anyway, in any case, I do accept the challenge. 2. If you could create your own pot of card, what would you call it and what would the effect be? I had to think really hard about this, and all I could think of was something that recycles extra deck monsters. It's hard to think of a name. But yeah, basically the effect of it would be target 5 fusion, synchro, Xyz and or link monsters in your graveyard. Return them to the extra deck, then draw 2 cards. You can only activate this card once per turn. And I think that would be a good enough drawback, considering the requirement to activate this card, along with the fact that it's a hard once per turn. I didn't want to give it other restrictions, like you can't draw extra cards or can only summon this kind of monster. Even though this pot card I thought of is probably something that Synchrons could use and abuse, and we don't really want that. How about this for a name, actually? A pot of returning alive. Sort of a reference to the warrior returning alive, only instead of adding a warrior from grave to hand, you're just adding back 4 extra deck monsters back to the deck. I think that would be pretty good. And finally, question 3. What did you think of Stuntman89 doing that rail stunt in the house and outside the house, and what did you think of his dad finding out about them, especially the antique cookie sheet that his mum and dad got for their wedding gift? Like, what's an antique... No, what's a cookie sheet? Is this basic? Is it basically like a baking tray? Because that's what it looked like from what I saw. To be honest, I think it was very silly that he did that, and it was quite dangerous. Like, especially when he kept hurting himself. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself? And he kind of knackered the stair rail. Like, did his dad find out about that rail? I'm assuming he did. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it didn't seem as bad as what was done to that outside rail. Um, but, but yeah, I don't blame him for getting angry about it. Like if that was me, I would really not be happy if someone damaged my stair rail and used something that was uh, given to me and Emma as a wedding gift. Um, I mean, on one hand, these pranks, or at least the pranks I've seen him do, are kind of funny. At the same time, well, actually, no, these aren't even pranks. Yeah, this rail stunt thing. I mean, it's kind of entertaining, but can also be quite dangerous, especially since he could land pretty badly. And what if someone copies him? Even some kid who might be watching. Um, yeah, that could go quite badly real quick, and maybe there'd be tears before bedtime. Who knows? Um, And yeah, that is it for questions in this episode. Thanks a lot for your guys' questions, very cool ones as always. And if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time, so be sure to get your questions in before then, so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.